A shocking loss to Mississippi State almost spelled disaster for the Gators season. But a pair of freshmen, Jabbar Gaffney and Rex Grossman, have returned the fun to the fun and gun offense. And Florida continues to stalk the Eastern Division title. We welcome you to the Home Depot presentation of college football on CBS. Today, an SEC East battle between the Bulldogs of Georgia and the Gators of Florida. It's been called for at least 50 years the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. 80,000 lucky enough to have tickets today. Half of them dressed in the blue and orange of Florida, the other half in the red and black of the University of Georgia. And we have an early Halloween treat for you on this Saturday afternoon. Another war between the states as Georgia takes on Florida. Both teams ranked in the top 15. Georgia with a 6-1 record, and the Florida Gators also at 6-1. Here come the Bulldogs. And here comes Florida. In Columbia this afternoon, South Carolina, they have a lot to say about the SEC East. They have a 4-point lead at the moment over Tennessee. The Volunteers, however, are threatening. South Carolina with a magical season thus far, 7-1 coming into today's play. And you see the respective records of Florida and Georgia, so you get a sense of what is at stake this afternoon. The fact that Georgia won that game 52-0 might have something to do with how both schools view it. Bo Carroll, one of two deep men. He is flanked by Lito Sheppard, number 3. Brett Kerouac will kick off. Number 95. For the Bulldogs of Georgia, we are underway. 79 or 78. In the corner, out of bounds. Not the way Jim Donnan might have envisioned his team starting this game. And he gets his 3rd start today. First time away from the Swamp. First and 10 for the 35. Grossman down the middle for his tight end. And it's picked off by Berea. Pharrell Berea, number 15, returns it to the 50, down to the 45. That is the first interception Grossman has thrown as a starter.
Vern, there's a flag down, but the penalty is going to be an illegal formation on Florida.
On the first offensive play of the game. Augenbrook in motion, the handoff goes to Robert Gillespie, and he second down and 2, an 8-yard pickup. Here's the handoff to Gillespie, who is popped. I believe that was 3rd down and 1. The toss, Gillespie gets outside by Millard. First down, Florida. Grossman back, will throw for the 2nd time, deep left side. Sails on him, intercepted. Picked off by Jermaine Phillips. Grossman might have been popped. He is picked off for the 2nd time in the ballgame. He's now been picked off twice. Baron Haynes is in the backfield, and the handoff goes to Jasper Sanks, number 28.
Vern, I think it is really important that Georgia gets something out of this drive off the turnover. That has been a problem for them, not being able to capitalize on the turnovers they've gotten in this series. 2 interceptions in the ballgame. They need to make that show for something.
And Terrence Edwards comes off the field in the huddle. Now, he will be used at quarterback periodically. Not this time, however. Edwards comes wide to the left side. Quincy Carter, still the signal caller, backs in the eye on 2nd and 6. Timeout. .11:23 to go in the opening stands. And they're looking at 2nd down and 6. The ball at their own 37-yard line. Double tight end set. Option play. Carter dodges to his right and is down at the 42.5-yard line. It appears about 2 feet short of the first down. Tackle made by Todd Johnson. Let's check the Gator defense. Had 2 really horrid games mid-season, but they've righted the ship in the last couple of weeks. Mitchell, Gurley, Warren, and Alex Brown up front. The linebackers are Natil, Travis Harris, the freshman, and Bam Hardman. And in the secondary, Lito Sheppard, Todd Johnson, who's having a splendid season, Marquand Manuel, and Robert Cromartie, who missed the first 5 games of the year with an injury. 3rd and 1. Dive play. Veron Hayes does not carry the ball all that often. That's only his 9th of the year, but he picks up the first down.
Well, he's the short yardage guy. He comes in to run it. He also comes in to lead block. I mean, this is a lot of one-back offense. But they bring Hayes in to play in the short yardage, and he got the first down.
Well, Oklahoma lays a pretty good licking on Nebraska today, 31-14.
Keep an eye on these guys right here, the 2 tight ends, real weapons for Georgia.
Draw play. Sanks, left side, and he runs into Travis Harris, the middle linebacker, and Todd Johnson, the free safety.
Brought down by number 26.
Jasper Sanks, who had a really terrific year last year, marred by the memory from a Georgia perspective of a couple of costly fumbles, one of them in this game.
Yeah, in the 4th quarter, and they were driving and on the 16-yard line of Florida going in when he dropped the football. Take a look at his numbers from a year ago.
And it's been more running back by committee for Georgia this time around. One of whom, Bruce Thornton, is in the deep back now. Gets the handoff and darts to the outside. He is the speed back, but Alex Brown did a nice job of getting down around the ankles and making contact. And Thornton with not much of a gain.
Take a look at what Florida has done defensively. Struggled a lot the first 5 games. Have made a real improvement, particularly in stopping the run. Now they're still at this point giving up 155 yards a game, but great improvement in their last 2 games, and it's directly related to tackling and not being on the field as long. John Hope, his team getting off the field much better the last 2 games.
3rd and 5. Blitz coming, 5-man rush. Here goes Carter. He's got the first. He's down at the 40. The tackle made ultimately by Marquand Manuel, but a pickup of 10, and they'll move the chain.
This is what makes Quincy Carter so dangerous, is his ability to take a nothing play and make it into something. Good coverage downfield, but they don't cover the middle of the field. Watch the middle open up here as all the defenders run to cover people. Quincy Carter doesn't see anyone open, and he knows he's got a nice lane right through the middle of the field to scramble the football for an easy first down.
Reggie Brown comes in at wide receiver, bottom of the screen. No, that's Brown in motion. Here's the option play. They went for the pitch man, and Carter is let loose. Out of the tackle. Down at the 21.
Quincy Carter hurt Florida last year with the option. He scored 2 touchdowns running the option. There was a question, how much would they use it with the left shoulder injury? You don't want him to take a lot of unnecessary hits. Every time they've used it today, he's kept the football, and he's been effective running. Florida right now has to recognize his shoulder must be pretty good. We better be sound fundamentally against the option.
Already in the ball game, 5 carries, 41 yards, and Musa Smith is in the lineup. Here comes Smith, the freshman from Pennsylvania, who has become a huge favorite in Athens. And Carter was popped and gets up slowly behind the line of scrimmage. A 13-yard gain. Musa Smith 2 weeks ago thought to be lost for the year with a partially torn meniscus.
Watch the hit right there on Carter. He's able to get the ball to Smith, and you see what they like about Musa Smith. He's a big power back, but he also has the speed to get outside. Kennard Ellis is the guy who hit Quincy Carter, but Musa Smith makes the play. There it is. I mean, when a quarterback comes down the line on an option, you got a free shot at him. You better take it.
Gain of 13. He'll get the ball again. Stiffened as he gets to the 6-yard line. A gain of 2. Mike Natil makes the tackle. Well, pretty effective red zone offense.
Yeah, the big key is, do you score touchdowns? And they've done a pretty good job. Close to 70% touchdowns when they get in there. And Jim Donnan's got a lot of weapons, and he's got a couple, 3 really good tight ends that he can throw the football to. He's got some powerful backs.
Now Sanks is the deep back in the eye. They'll go with a power formation, but the power back to the right is the flanker.
Watch the option.
Edwards.
There's the option with Edwards.
There's the option with Edwards. Pitch back, Sanks. Good job defensive recognition by Florida. They've done their homework.
Yep, they sure have. When you have Terrence Edwards, this is Terrence Edwards. He's a wide receiver, but he was a great high school quarterback. And they've shown this. Give it to him and let him run the option down the line. Well defense by Florida. They had the quarterback and the pitch man completely covered.
That will bring up 3rd and goal. 10th play of the drive, scoreless. First quarter, we're halfway through it. Damian Gary, LeBron Mitchell are in.
Keep an eye on Randy McMichael right here.
Here's Carter looking left, finds McMichael, dropped it.
He doesn't drop many, Vern. He's an excellent tight end. Now, he is not even covered. Unbelievable, a bust on the Florida defense. And McMichael just took his eye off the football. Quick recognition by Quincy. McMichael's got to make that catch.
That's one of those 40 years from now, they're going to ask Randy McMichael, what do you remember about the Georgia-Florida game in 2000? And he will wince. Billy Bennett, the freshman place kicker, comes on. He's been a find for Georgia, and he gives the Bulldogs an early lead. But McMichael sits alone with his thoughts. Frazier, number 40, is in fullback. Here's Grossman. Drills it. Finds his wide receiver, Rashay Caldwell. And that is out to the 38-yard line. Well, coming into this game, Rex Grossman had the leading pass efficiency rating in the country. He just qualified with the win over Auburn.
He has made it look easy, Vern. I mean, he came in off the bench against Mississippi State and played well. He started the last 2 games against LSU and Auburn, and again, I don't think he even got knocked down in those 2 games. So already today, 2 interceptions, and he's been under a little duress.
Jabbar Gaffney in motion. Grossman looks that direction, finds Caldwell for the second time, number 17. There was Gaffney, number 10. Well, Virginia Tech at home against Pittsburgh. Let's get an update from Tim Brando.
Vern, remember the outstanding wide receiver and punt returner Andre Davis is out for this game, so they're going to need a lot from Lee Suggs. His 15th rushing touchdown of the season. Frank Beamer's Cup up 7. Of course, they get Miami, don't they?
Yes, indeed, Tim. They do get Miami next week. First down and 10. Grossman, draw play. Gillespie darts to his left. Picks up a little speed. Steps out of the tackle of Cap Burnett, number 23. Gillespie with a nice run and a gain of 21 yards.
If you want to run the football against Georgia, you got to take care of these inside guys. Watch the middle open up as Gillespie's able to cut it back. Nice block on Jonathan Sullivan. He's the freshman defensive tackle in there right now, giving Marcus Stroud a break. And they picked on the freshman that time.
Robert Gillespie, he and Graham have been the featured backs this year, but they have struggled on the ground. 93rd in the NCAA annals for the year. Play fake, Grossman down the middle, has a man at the 5. Gaffney strolls in. Welcome home, Jabbar Gaffney. He grew up in Jacksonville. And for the 11th time this season, the redshirt freshman connects with the redshirt freshman.
Well, Henderson is going to play a man-to-man and knows he has help over the top, but he gives too much separation. He allows Gaffney to get too far away from him, and then Gaffney just eludes a couple poor tackles by Georgia. That was too easy for Rex Grossman and Jabbar Gaffney. Got to tighten up that coverage.
Jeff Chandler will add the extra point. Oh, no! Are you kidding me? The all-time leading scorer in Florida history missed a couple in the first game this year and absolutely shanks one left.
One more look at the touchdown. A great drive by Florida after the field goal. Gators on top.
Thank you, Tim. That's about as perfectly executed an alley-oop play as you'll see. 6-3 here. Florida at the 40-yard line. Jabbar Gaffney in motion. Grossman. Deep left side. Got He did not get it. I thought Caldwell had possession when he went down. Robinson and Kentrell Curry were defending.
You know, sometimes I think as a quarterback you got to throw it up and let your receiver make a play. This is good coverage, but Caldwell has a great chance to make the catch. There's two guys down there, but he gets his hands on the football. You don't always have to have a wide receiver wide open to give him a chance to make the play. Most of the time, wide receivers are more adept at going up in traffic and catching the football.
2nd down and 10. Grossman flips it out for Gillespie, and he motors out to the 50-yard line. That appears to be just short of the 1st down. Bell with a tackle. Test your sports knowledge. Play Aflac Trivia at cbs.sportsline.com or America Online, keyword CBS Sportsline. It's a Gator kind of Halloween for the moment, huh? A lot of pumpkins carved here in Jacksonville this week. 3rd and 1. 6-3. Toss to Gillespie. Works his way for the 1st down. Robinson came in with the initial contact, and Millard went back and finally made the stop, number 98. Well, this has been kind of spooky in October for Georgia and Jacksonville. That was Todd Blackledge being tickled about something.
Nice work by our man Sellers Shy there, putting that together.
1st down and 10. Across the middle deep for his tight end, Kirk Wells, number 83. Incomplete.
I thought one of the matchups that favored Georgia coming into the game was their 2 tackles inside against the center and guards. Watch this push right back through the center, Jorgensen, into the lap of the quarterback. That's Richard Seymour getting there. And even though it's not a sack, it forces a quick and not a good throw by Rex Grossman. That's where Georgia can get an advantage and pressure the Florida quarterback.
5 defensive backs employed by Georgia. Here's Grossman back. 5-man rush. Got a lot of time, but it sails on him. That looked a little bit like a Jacksonville pumpkin. 3rd and 10.
Take a look again now. This time Florida does a little better job. They're a little firmer in there. The 2 guards in the center. Nice job on Stroud and Seymour. But Grossman nowhere to go with the football because of the good downfield coverage.
Jim Donnan thought Rex Grossman would be affected by this crowd. Do you sense that at all?
I think it's different. You know, he's played 2 games as a starter, and they've both been in front of 85,000 of his best friends. So this is a little different environment, even though it's not a true road game.
Timeout, Florida. This game first played in Jacksonville in 1933. Moved here because of the Depression. It was thought that people could get here via train from both Athens and obviously from Gainesville. It became a mainstay here. Has been played in this so-called neutral site every year since '33, with the exception of 2 years when the Gator Bowl was renovated and reemerged as Alltel Stadium.
You know, I was on campus in Athens on Thursday, wanted to get a feel for the flavor, the excitement, and there was nobody there. They called school off on Thursday and Friday so everybody could get down here early.
5 defensive backs in for Georgia again. Out of the shotgun on 3rd and 10. Grossman deep, has a receiver open for the 1st down at the 15-yard line. The catch made by Jabbar Gaffney, his 2nd of the ball game. The 1st went for a touchdown.
Nice job by Jabbar Gaffney finding the hole in the defense. Little combination route. Here he comes now. He reads the zone, sits down right in between the coverage, and Grossman on target with the football. Again, these two have a great feel for each other. It started last year on the scout team together. It's carried over through the summer and certainly over the last month of the season.
1st down and 10 at the 35. pressure. Grossman steps up, goes deep for Taylor Jacobs in the end zone. The catch made out of bounds. Now let's take a look at today's Army Heritage. The festivities for the annual Georgia-Florida border war started Thursday evening and haven't stopped. It was dubbed the world's largest outdoor cocktail party in the mid-50s by Florida Times-Union sports writer Bill Castells. The unofficial name stuck when used again by Sports Illustrated's John Underwood in 1966. Georgia fans take the festivities so seriously. As Todd said, the school was given a couple of days for their fall break to coincide with the game. 2nd and 10. Across the middle again. Catch is made at the 25.
There's a real chess match going on today between Steve Spurrier and his offense and Gary Gibbs, the new defensive coordinator for Georgia. There he is right there, former head coach at Oklahoma, out of coaching for the last 5 years, longtime friend and former colleague of Jim Donnan, and right now he's got to try to figure out the best way to slow down this Gator offense. One blitz so far today. That's not his style to blitz, but he may have to go after Rex Grossman a little more.
1st down and 10 after the 11-yard gain by Gaffney rather, and Gillespie stopped behind the line at the 28-yard line. Well, these two, Jim Donnan and Gary Gibbs, were assistant coaches in 1985 under Barry Switzer when the Sooners won a national championship. By the way, the fella just to the left of Jim Donnan, Lucius Selman.
Yep. There's a few of those Selman guys, good football players that went through Oklahoma. Boy, those Sooner teams were good. Man,
apparently they are again.
Yeah, you're right. Big win for them today.
2nd down and 14. Here's the toss to Gillespie going left. Gets into the secondary. Tackled at the 21-yard line by Jermaine Phillips.
You know, one of the things I'm really impressed with about Seymour and Stroud is watch how they run to the football. They don't take a play off. Seymour is double teamed here. He can't make a play on the initial point of attack, but watch him continue on the play and run down to get involved in the tackle on Gillespie. That's a 6'6", 300-pound guy running to the football.
Florida leads it by 3. They've got a 3rd and 5 with 21 seconds to go. 1st quarter. Grossman tipped incomplete. Berea was defending, and Millard was pressuring him.
2nd blitz of the game, and a well-timed call by Gary Gibbs. They brought pressure. Pressure's going to come from the outside, and watch, it forces a little bit of a quick throw. They get in the face, a little extra pressure, and Grossman not able to make the accurate throw. Seymour and Stroud in there, Millard in there. Pressure the quarterback, disrupt his rhythm. They did it that time.
Jeff Chandler, whose family probably has conflicted feelings. His dad was a track man at Georgia and the all-time leading scorer for Florida, makes amends for the shanked extra point. He knocks home the field goal from 37 yards. He's one field goal away from tying the record for most made in a career.
Career passing efficiency.
It's not a duck. Okay, well,
my guess would be it's a cougar, but I don't know.
Let you know later. Ooh, that's a pretty good guess. Up the middle, Robert Gillespie back in the Florida backfield. Rex Grossman intercepted just once this season before he threw his first pass today. This was the opening offensive play of the game.
Yeah, good pressure inside, a little overthrow, and Vieira, the safety there for the collection, and then another overthrow, this time Jermaine Phillips with the interception, and it's all the result of pressure. You can't imagine how easy it's been for Rex Grossman the last 2 games, mostly because there was no pressure.
Play fake. Gives him time. That's tipped away. Nice defensive play. Intercepted. Picked off by Tim Wansley. Wansley weaves his way to the 5 and has the ball. 1st and goal, Georgia.
Jamie Henderson made the play, Vern. Tim Wansley, the benefactor, with the interception. Jamie Henderson is going to be the guy on the main coverage and is going to get a hand on the football. And Tim Wansley is going to pick it off in the air. There's the tip, and Wansley alertly there for the football. But it was made by Jamie Henderson. There's Jamie Henderson getting his shoulder on the football, and it goes up in the air into the hands of Wansley.
As of 3:30 Eastern this afternoon, Florida had played 28 quarters of football and thrown 3 interceptions. Now, in the first quarter and a half, they have thrown 3. Jermaine Phillips in the backfield. Musa Smith plows over right guard and picks up 1 tough yard.
And Vern, Georgia must score a touchdown here. Take a look at this now. Since 1996, when Jim Donnan came to Georgia, Florida has forced 13 turnovers and scored off of them, 38 points. Georgia, 12 turnovers and only 3 points. Add 1 more turnover to that now. 13 turnovers, only 3 points. They need a touchdown right here.
Jesse Palmer warming up, the 5th-year senior who was the starter the first 5 games of this year.
Watch the tight ends again.
Jermaine Phillips, number 5, is in there. He's the lead blocker on the sweep. Musa Smith. Georgia leads. Actually, it's tied. They can lead with the extra point.
I told you Jermaine Phillips does a little bit of everything. He plays free safety. He plays wingback in the goal line situation, and watch him as a lead blocker here, getting out in front of Musa Smith. The fullbacks out there. Here they are. Haynes and Jermaine Phillips providing an escort for Musa Smith to the corner of the end zone.
Now Georgia leads. After the interception, the 3rd of the game, Musa Smith gets the touchdown. Rex Grossman, Jesse Palmer. There's the redshirt freshman to the left. The 5th-year senior just behind Steve Spurrier. Might he make a change?
He might. I mean, he told us this week, he said, hey, Jesse's had a great week of practice. Rex knows he's in there right now because he's been playing well. Well, he's struggling a little bit here in the first half. They both have their helmets on. Jesse's is double buckled up. I'm going to guess number 7 is going in the game. And 1 buckle off, 2 buckles on.
Short kick. Taken up at the 38-yard line by Lester Norwood. Let's go back and watch the deflection and the subsequent interception by Wansley.
It was an excellent play by Jamie Henderson. You don't see him in your picture right now. He was on a slot receiver. Watch Henderson go down and get his hand on the football and then right into the hands of Wansley. And Wansley has been the big play guy for Georgia. Then on the touchdown, Musa Smith, excellent blocking on the perimeter. Nice block by the tight end Raider, and Jim Donnan finally gets a touchdown off of a turnover.
Jesse Palmer is in at quarterback. There's the pitch. Gillespie. He goes right. So a chance for redemption for Jesse Palmer, who by all intents and purposes has handled his bench time very, very well.
And he's done the right things in terms of continuing to prepare like he is the starter, to continue to practice well, to do all the right things, to cross all his T's and dot all his I's in terms of preparation. And now he's back in the game with a chance to get his team back on top.
2nd down and 4. Fumble. Loose ball. Georgia's got it. That's 4 first-half turnovers.
Now I'm going to tell you, Vern, this is a bad exchange between the center and quarterback, and you watch, it's the pressure from Richard Seymour. It's a new center in the game. Aaron Deal is in, not David Jorgensen. It was not a clean exchange between Deal and Palmer, and Will Witherspoon is the guy who's going to come up with the football. But pressure inside by Georgia forces another turnover.
First fumble lost. That's Aaron Deal, who had replaced Jorgensen at center. Double tight end set for the Bulldogs at the Florida 42. Fake toss. Carter.
Wheel route.
He's got a man down the sidelines. Milliken flies out of bounds for the first and goal at the 3.
Perfect time to call this play. They've got Florida on their heels. They fake to Milliken, show bootleg, and then throw back on the wheel route. Here's Milliken. He's going to come out and down the sideline, and the quarterback's going to come this way on the bootleg. They forget about him. They think they're just faking to him. Nobody picks him up out of the backfield, and Quincy Carter right where he needs to be with the football. You got a guy wide open, throw it right to him. Don't lead him. Don't try to make the perfect throw. Get him the football. Young linebackers for Florida fooled by the play action. Travis Harris, the middle linebacker, trying to recover late to get on the play. Excellent play call at the right time by Jim Donnan. Here's what Georgia likes to do in the red zone. 13 runs, 5 passes. Musa Smith back in the game at tailback.
There was a penalty, personal foul, so 2 yards tacked on. Musa Smith got it, touchdown.
Back-to-back turnovers and back-to-back touchdowns, capitalizing on those turnovers. Great extension by Musa Smith. They stopped the penetration, and Musa able to get over the top.
Billy Bennett's extra point is up and good. The second short touchdown run for the freshman from Pennsylvania this afternoon.
With because you don't beat Florida with field goals or by playing conservatively.
First and 10 at the 38. Up the middle, Jasper Sanks to the 41-yard line. Tackle made by Mike Natile and Marquand Manuel.
Georgia having some success running the football. You know, this Florida defense through 7 games last year was only giving up 49 yards a game rushing. Right now they're giving up over 100 more than that, 155 yards a game rushing. They just have not been as solid against the run as they were a year ago, with basically the same people playing the same position.
Carter play fake, flips it out for Edwards. Nice job by Terrence Edwards. First down, Georgia at the 45. Gain of 14.
Take a look at what people have done running the football against Florida. In '99, that was through the whole season. They were 9th in the country. Right now, way down below the middle of the pack at 71st.
Terrence Edwards picks up that first down.
Yeah, the biggest difference is they don't have the same middle linebacker. Andre Davis was hurt early in the year, but the front 7 or front 4, all the same guys.
Right side, LeBron Mitchell makes the grab at the 40-yard line. Well, of all of those ground gains, the biggest play, I think, was the Bruce Thornton run. The 23-yarder that began to get them out of that horrid field position.
Yep, they were playing with their backs to the wall through the first half. The defense hung in there and made plays. And then they got that big run and didn't get any points. But like you said, were able to kick it from a better position and flip-flop the field a little bit.
Second down. Shotgun. Carter darts out of trouble. Leans down to the 38-yard line. It'll be 3rd and either a long 2 or a short 3, depending on the spot. Thad Bullard with this tackle, and the clock shows 1:35. And timeout is called by Georgia. So they used the second of their 3, and you look at a perplexed Steve Spurrier. 4 first half Gator turnovers, 17 Georgia points. .95 seconds to go before the break. Georgia up 17-9.
Big play right here, I think, for both teams. Again, I think Georgia needs to keep the pedal to the metal here. 1:35 left in the half. They need to try to score another time before halftime. So a huge 3rd down and short conversion situation. If the Gators can find a way to stop, not only will they get the ball back again this first half, but they could go into the locker room trailing only by 8 points.
Gary and Edwards split off to the left. Both Bruce Thornton is the only running back. Carter runs the option, has a downfield block and a first down out of bounds at the 25. A gain of 13 and a first down.
Nice job running the option by Quincy Carter. Good job blocking downfield by Randy McMichael, one of those 3 tight ends. Watch McMichael here lead the escort for Quincy Carter on the option. Defender takes the pitch man, quarterback has to keep, and McMichael right out there getting the key block on Marquand Manuel and an easy first down. Guy who hasn't touched the ball yet for Georgia, Damian Gary, number 18. He's out here. He's been a big play guy.
Motion at the line.
Have a dead ball foul, false start against the offense, movement in the offensive line prior to the snap, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Jennings and Pate on the left side.
Tell you what, I admire the toughness of Quincy Carter because he is obviously not 100%, and he's continuing to run the option, scramble when the coverage is too good, and not afraid to take another hit on that sore shoulder.
50 yards on the ground on 8 carries for Carter. Fake the draw, goes back to pass, crossing route, intercepted by Lito Sheppard. Picked off by the cornerback of Florida. He gets a huge block. Now Sheppard still running free, still on his feet, and still on his feet. My gracious.
Quincy Carter never saw Lito Sheppard, but Lito Sheppard was watching Quincy Carter the whole way. It's a crossing route to the other side of the field. Watch Lito Sheppard, his eyes right in at Quincy Carter. And Quincy Carter, not aware where Sheppard is, Sheppard falls right in front of the play and makes the interception. And then what a great effort, not giving up on the play after the interception. Not only do they get the stop, but because of Sheppard's return, the Gators in scoring territory.
Ball is spotted at the 26-yard line. Talk about your mood swings. First down and 10 after the 60-yard return of the interception. Here's Palmer, the senior, down the middle for Gaffney, who goes up and can't quite hold on at the 10. What a return by Sheppard.
Lito Sheppard just saying, hey, if you're not going to tackle me, then I'm just going to keep running. I'm not going to go down just because I'm tired. We're behind in the ball game. Our team needs a spark.
And a flag on the last play.
Holding on Florida.
Replay first down.
Again, I think inside, the combination of Richard Seymour and Marcus Stroud has really been a problem for the Florida Gators. And that penalty knocks them back out of field goal range right now with a minute left.
11-yard penalty, first and 21. Palmer across the middle. He's got Gaffney. He's got a first down inside the 15. Florida has 2 timeouts left. Of course, the clock stops now on the change of the chains.
They went right back to it. Same kind of play. Get the slot receiver down the middle. Cover 2 defense. There's a hole in the middle. Gaffney missed the one before on a little high throw. That time they went right back to him, and he made the good catch.
Clock running, 48 seconds to go. Out of the shotgun with Palmer, the deep back. Alex Willis, the senior captain, in the slot left. Palmer in the end zone. Receiver slipped. Second down.
Little bumping out there between Tim Wansley and Jabbar Gaffney. No call made. Wansley with 5 interceptions now on the season. The team leader has been the big play guy, and there's just a little contact, but a good no call by the official.
Gaffney goes right. Willis and Caldwell come left. 4-man rush by Georgia. Palmer, right flat, has a man open. Inside the 5. Touchdown, Florida. Gillespie.
Nice read by Jesse Palmer on the zone defense. Gillespie not the primary target. He's a dump-off guy. Here's Gillespie. Watch him just get out here and sit on the sideline. Zone defense, good read by Palmer, and then watch the effort at the end of the play. Over Wansley, the ball to the pylon. Nice read by Jesse Palmer.
It is the ball that is significant at the plane, and the ball crossed the plane. Timeout call by Florida while they discuss the option 1 or 2. They trail by 2. Gillespie gets the touchdown from the senior Jesse Palmer. .30 seconds to go first half. Florida on the boards again. And now Steve Spurrier chatting with what they've got in mind for the conversion.
Well, and how about the turnovers again? And again, Florida capitalizes on turnovers. The first one that they forced today, and they get the touchdown at the end with this great effort by Robert Gillespie. The ball across the plane touches the pylon. Touchdown, Gator.
All set up by a remarkable interception return from Lito Sheppard. Now 3 wide receivers come left, 2 go right. Gaffney is in the slot, and Palmer is under center as they try for the tie. Palmer, right side, got him. Rashae Caldwell.
Nice little play, Vern. It looks like slant all the way. It starts out not as slant, and then Rashae Caldwell just stops right on a dime. Georgia thinking slant, and watch Caldwell start the slant and then stop. Right there, no way to react to that play. DeCorey Bryant, no chance. Good timing, good execution.
So Jesse Palmer on in relief of Rex Grossman. And we are notched with 30 seconds to go in the first half. (17-17).
How about Jabbar Gaffney on that drive? Drops the one down the middle. Of course, it would have been wiped out by the holding penalty, and they come right back to him the next play. And Gaffney makes the big catch down the middle of the defense to set up the touchdown.
And all of it set up by that man, Lito Sheppard, with a sensational return after he got the interception.
Lito Sheppard and Jabbar Gaffney, both from the same high school, Jacksonville Reign. Great homecoming for both guys.
Here's the kick taken by Bruce Thornton. He will bring it out. And does so to the 21, where he is high-load and down. I think the Lito Sheppard interception is worth another look.
Yeah, it really is. Again, Quincy Carter off the bootleg. Now he's looking this way all the way. Never sees Lito Sheppard, who was watching him the entire time. And then what an effort at the end of the play. Just bobbing and weaving, staying alive, breaking tackles. And were it not for this return, good chance Florida doesn't tie this football game.
Lito Sheppard, a sophomore from Jacksonville, as Todd just said. And 17-17 with 25 seconds to go before the break. And the Bulldogs will be content to settle for a tie at the half. I believe he's already taken. And has been for a long, long time. Lito Sheppard had one interception return for a touchdown earlier, but this one even more remarkable. Let's check in with Jill Arrington.
Coach, a lot of mistakes in the first half, a lot of turnovers. They're killing you. Your defense is keeping you in the game. What changes are you going to make?
Yeah, our defense has played pretty well except for a couple plays here and there, but 4 turnovers in the first half and to be tied with them, we're pretty fortunate right now. Hopefully we can play a little bit better on offense and play a little smarter this half.
Which quarterback will we see in the second half, Coach?
Well, I think we got to go with Jesse. Rex he was getting his plays confused. We couldn't get the right play called, so he needed to rest a little while, so Jesse's a little more experienced, I think, right now.
All right, Coach, thanks a lot.
All right, Jill, thank you. Halftime, 17-17. Thornton over the shoulder catch. This one comes out to the 20. First down and 10 from the 20. A few moments ago, Jill Arrington with Jim Donnan.
Coach Donnan, you had some mistakes in the first half. You were able to get some turnovers, couldn't capitalize on them as much as you wanted to. What do you need to do the second half to gain the momentum back?
Well, we got 2 touchdowns off turnovers, so we're happy with that. But, you know, we were going good there, and then Quincy got his shoulder hurt and it caught us out of our option game. But our defense is mixing it up and doing a good job. We just got to take advantage of things, and that hurt us there. It's a big turnaround there when they got that score at the end of the half. But second half game, let's see what happens.
How's Quincy Carter? Is that shoulder bothering him?
Yeah, I think it's bothering him enough. We got to really be protected, but, you know, hopefully he can hang in there, and he's doing a good job.
All right, Coach, thanks a lot.
Thank you, Jill. That was just a moment ago, and you saw Quincy Carter's first passing attempt of the second half. I think you think he's been affected by this.
Yeah, it has. It has affected him. He's not throwing the ball real efficiently right now. He did not have a good first half throwing the football. He did make a couple nice runs. He was a leading rusher for Georgia in that first half, but you can tell that it's bothering him a little bit. And the one thing that I think Georgia really has to do here in the second half is make a concerted effort to get the ball in the hands of some of their playmakers.
Here's the option. Carter pitches it back to Brett Milliken, but a terrific job then by Marcus Akendo Johnson, who forced a lineman back into Quincy Carter. And your perusal of the halftime stats here.
Well, Georgia had the better of it running the football. Florida had the better of it passing the football. Georgia had the better of it in the turnovers, but you see the game is tied 17-17. And as Jim Donnan said, that big turnaround at the end of the half, the interception by Lito Sheppard and the return, and enabled Florida to crawl back into this ball game. But Georgia has to find a way to get the ball in the hands of the guys that can make plays. Take a little pressure off of Quincy Carter, get it to some of the other guys.
3rd and 9. Quick flip. Reggie Brown gets a block from Edwards, but then a fine defensive job out on the left side. Bam Hardman, number 42. Very alert with the defensive play.
Alert by Hardman, but Reggie Brown's got to just catch that ball and go straight up the field. He don't have time to dance around with the football against a team as fast as Florida on defense.
That brings on Jonathan Kilgo to punt. And Lito Sheppard.
Lito Sheppard back to receive for Florida.
He's got 1 punt return for a touchdown this season. Here's the grab at the 42. Sheppard knocked backwards by Kentrell Curry.
Jermaine Phillips also down there, the first guy down there, and then Curry got the tackle.
Florida ball. First Florida possession of the 3rd quarter. Jesse Palmer, who came on in relief of Rex Grossman in the 2nd quarter, opens at quarterback. Grossman with 3 first half interceptions. Palmer, a bad exchange with Aaron Deal, a fumble, but he keeps the ball this time and goes over right guard and right tackle out to the 46-yard line. And time now for our Exxon Virtual Playbook.
Well, the playbook today is Georgia's base coverage, which we call Bulldog Cover 2. Now, in a game like this, they might take a linebacker out and replace him with a nickelback, which they've done a lot today, Jamie Henderson, and they play soft Cover 2. Now, with this defense, the vulnerable areas are on the sideline and down the middle of the field. First pass of the game, Rex Grossman tries to go to the middle, and it's an overthrow, and it's intercepted by Vieira.
Down the middle, Palmer finds his tight end. He's got a first down at the 37-yard line. The catch made by Aaron Walker, the sophomore. A gain of 18.
Well, they attacked the middle again, and this time Palmer on the money. The play fake held the linebackers. That made an easy throw for Jesse Palmer. The good play fake held those two inside linebackers tight to the line and made a nice throwing lane for Jesse Palmer.
Gain of 18 and a first down. Tight end's not that significant a part of the offense numerically. Down the middle, Caldwell leaping, incomplete. Knocked away by Corey Robinson, number 26.
Corey Robinson gets a good hand on the ball. There was good pressure up front by Marcus Stroud. This ball hung in the air a little bit too long, and Robinson able to get up and knock the ball out of the hands of Caldwell. The pressure caused the ball to hang in the air a little bit long, and Robinson made the play.
Taylor Jacobs, number 6, comes on the field. He and Gaffney break wide right. Caldwell is split off to the left, and Willis in a slot. Here's Palmer back. Incomplete. Palmer and Gaffney appeared to be not on the same page that time.
Again, watch the push, the pressure inside. Watch these three guys push the pocket. Seymour and Stroud just pushing guys back into the quarterback's face. It's not a sack. It's not even necessarily a hurry, but it does disrupt the timing and the rhythm of these Florida quarterbacks.
On 3rd and 10, Georgia goes with 6 defensive backs. 4 wide receivers, Palmer with the audible. 4-man rush. It's batted down in the line by Marcus Stroud, number 97.
Palmer's pass deflected at the line of scrimmage.
I really think this tandem of Stroud and Seymour are as good as there is in the country. Just look at the push. Great leverage, 2 guys on him, but he still is able to get past the neutral zone into the Florida backfield and then get a hand on the football. Now, Vern, Florida has made a switch at center. I don't know if it's because of an injury to Jorgensen, but it might be just the fact that Aaron Deal is a bigger guy. He weighs over 300 pounds. Jorgensen about 270, and Deal in there now as the starting center.
Jeff Chandler's going to try one from 54 yards out. That might do it. He got it.
We've seen him shank one from 3 yards away and absolutely nail one from 54. No doubt about this one.
By the way, 8:58 to go in the 3rd. Vern Lundquist, Todd Blackledge, Jill Arrington. Florida, Georgia. 20-17 Gators with the first down and 10. Here's a toss and a reverse. And coming to the left side is Rashae Caldwell. A flag is down back at the line of scrimmage on the far side. Offside. Georgia. So the option resting now with the Flater. Friday on CBS, you've never experienced anything like the all-new Fugitive. Tim Daly stars in the new hit drama. Join the chase with an all-new episode Friday at 8/7 Central on CBS.
You know, Vern, that was really a nice play by Terrell Vieira, the strong safety for Georgia, because the majority of the Georgia defense was fooled by that reverse. Kendrell Bell was chasing it hard down the line, and Vieira did a nice job of staying outside and forcing Caldwell back to the inside. They still got 9.5 yards out of it, but it could have been much worse.
Not quite enough for the first down, so the ball spotted just inside the 28-yard line.
One thing to keep in mind here for Florida, backup defensive tackles in right now. Seymour and Stroud are out, trying to get a rest. David Jacobs, number 99, and Jonathan Sullivan, the true freshman out of Griffin, Georgia, are the 2 tackles in there right now.
Second, less than a foot. Jesse Palmer, the senior quarterback, 5th-year senior from Canada. Starter at the beginning of the year, on in relief of the freshman Rex Grossman today. And he'll throw on 2nd and short. Comes deep, Has his man open at the 41-yard line. It's Gaffney, tackled immediately by Jamie Henderson. Well, talked a little bit about Jeff Chandler, the all-time leading scorer in Florida history, and his background. There's his dad, Don. He was the track coach at, or the track captain at Georgia, and his mom, Pamela, who also was an athlete at Georgia back in the 60s. They tell a funny story about themselves. During Jeff's freshman year, they were sitting in the parents section during this game, forgot momentarily where their son played. While Georgia back had a long run, Pamela Chandler said she stood up and started screaming for Georgia until she realized where she was sitting. 1st and 10. Left side. Gillespie, big run, 45-yard line. Tackle made by Cap Burnett.
And here comes Stroud and Seymour back in the game as well. A big running play for Florida. And that's it for the rest time for the two 300-pound tackles. Nice job by Gillespie following the block of his fullback Frazier. And a positive gain for the Gator offense.
First down at the 45-yard line. Play fake, Palmer. Left side, Gaffney is open. At the 24-yard line. And let's go back for an update. Once again, here's Tim Brando in New York.
All right, Vern, when Michael Vick is not available for the rest of the game, what do? You go to the running game, although not the Suggs. This time the fullback, Jarrett Ferguson, takes it in from 6 yards out. Virginia Tech looking to hold on and advance to that Miami game up on Pittsburgh in the 3rd by a touchdown.
All right, Tim, thank you. 7:41 in the 3rd here, and a personal foul, a late hit on the quarterback.
Yeah, at the end of the play, Terrence Smith with the late hit. And a couple nice throws in a row by Jesse Palmer on the 2nd and 1 and this one.
And that ball moving inexorably inside the 15 and down finally at the 12-yard line following the penalty. 1st and 10.
1st and 10 Gators at the Georgia 12.
Winner of this game will have first place undisputed in the SEC East. South Carolina lost earlier today to Tennessee. These teams tied 6-1 regular season, 4-1 in the conference. Good defensive play for the moment, but a broken tackle, and Ernest Graham is down to the 6. Kendrell Bell had him and lost him.
Yeah, both linebackers had shots at him. Kendrell Bell and Tony Gilbert had a shot to bring him down right there, but great balance by Ernest Graham. He put the right hand down on the ground, kept going forward, and turned it into a nice game. Georgia has been very good so far this season, stopping touchdowns at only 60%.
Gillespie back is the deep back in the eye. He gets the handoff. Tries to wait patiently and goes over right tackle to the 3-yard line. Third and 1, 20-17.
If Gary Gibbs' defense ever needed a stop, this is the time he needs it. 3rd down and 2 or a long 1.
Gaffney, here's the quarterback keeper, Palmer.
Nice. Nice job going on the quick count. Coming up out of the huddle, getting set. Don't let the defense get set. Snap the football and go. Watch Jesse Palmer. The Georgia defense, they're still moving, trying to get set. Quick count and try to sneak it in there.
First and goal.
Really a smart move by the senior Jesse Palmer.
Again, Florida spreads it out. Palmer, another quarterback sneak, right guard, and down just shy of the goal line. Spurrier pleading more than acknowledging.
Well, they're trying to go away from Stroud and Seymour. I mean, you know, and that's smart. Seymour and Stroud are on this side. Run the quarterback sneak to that side. Try to find a smaller guy. They tried to run over the middle linebacker, Kendrell Bell.
Second and goal. Try it again, third time in succession. And there is an indication of the ball being spotted just short again.
Nice job by Marcus Stroud on that play. As you take a look at Gary Gibbs with another key third down situation. Marcus Stroud just did the old submarine here. Just went underneath both blockers, the center and guard, and Jesse Palmer nowhere to go.
Third and goal, same formation. Quick count, quarterback keeper, touchdown Florida. Go right, whoops.
Yep.
Go left.
Go low, go high. If at first you don't succeed, try again and then try one more time. Up and over the top. The football, all it has to do is cross the plane. And Steve Spurrier happy with his senior quarterback, Jesse Palmer.
Remember that Palmer had 4 rushing touchdowns in one game earlier against Kentucky. A Florida single game record. Well, he adds another one. This from a foot out. 27-17. Time now for the Exxon scoring summary. Let's see how we got here. 4 Florida turnovers led to 17 Georgia points. Here's Musa Smith, one of his 2 after a Wansley interception. And then just prior to the half, Gillespie leans out. Chandler in this half with a 54-yard field goal cuts it just inside the right upright. That made it 20-17 and broke the halftime tie. And just moments ago, Jesse Palmer, the senior quarterback, split the difference between center and left guard. And it's 27-17, and that's how we got here.
You know, you might ask, why do you think the quarterback sneak would be open like that? Well, Florida went with no backs. And so by spreading the formation out, that took all the linebackers out of the middle of the field. So all he had to do was try to get over the top. There was no one there to meet him at the top of the jump. They used formation to spread Georgia out and then ran 3 successive quarterback sneaks.
A 15-yard penalty was assessed to Georgia on the extra point for unsportsmanlike conduct, so the kick comes from midfield. And that's relatively short, and Milliken will bring it out. A ways. Up and out of bounds at the 28-yard line. Now South Carolina lost in the final 30 seconds at home to Tennessee today. So Florida, Georgia with 4-1 records coming into this ball game. The winner of this one will have undisputed possession in the SEC East. And of course, Florida, South Carolina have a game against each other in Gainesville on the 11th of November.
You know, Vern, one thing that Florida has done an excellent job of today is neutralizing, actually eliminating the tight ends from this Georgia offense. They have no catches so far. Randy McMichael is a big factor for this offense. He has caught nothing today.
On first down, the handoff to Musa Smith. Spilled as he gets out to the 34-yard line. Tackle is made by Byron Hardman.
Well, I like the way this guy looks. I mean, he is a good-looking running back. Does not carry himself like a freshman. And you mentioned the knee injury. The MRI made it look like he was going to be gone for the year. And when they got in there with the scope surgery, they found out it wasn't as bad as they thought. And he was able to come back this week. And he gives them a real weapon at the tailback position.
Gain of 6. 2nd and 4. Handed to Musa Smith again. Comes right. Contacted at the line. And Bam Hardman, who's been very active today, number 42, and then Gus Scott, number 37, comes up to help on the play. Hardman a little slow getting back on his feet. Uga 6. There have been 6 Ugas started in 1955. all of the dogs have been owned by Sonny and Cecilia Seiler of Savannah. You want to be very careful when you spill that out. It's difficult to say without expectorating. Third down. Carter lets it go. He's got Reggie Brown. First down at the 47, 48-yard line. 44-yard line, make it.
Great job by Quincy Carter under serious duress. Watch Carter. He knows he's going to get hit. He eludes the pressure. Makes the nice throw. And they needed that third down conversion. I don't think Georgia could have survived another 3 and out right there. They needed that conversion.
Gerard Warren having a discussion with one of the officials as they came back. Here's I'm not sure what Warren's case was, but here's Carter back. They find the tight end, McMichael. Let's see what's going on with the Crimson Tide. Once again, Timmy B.
Old Vern at the topsy-turvy world of Mike Dubose, trailing 37-24 at home to Central Florida. Ahmad Galloway gets in. Under 7.5 to play. Alabama trailing to Central Florida, coached by Mike Krusek, former Terry Bradshaw backup quarterback at Pittsburgh.
Wow. There's a wow
Those
for you.
always dangerous Black Knights.
The border war. First down and 10 to the 41-yard line. Well, Uga 1 was a wedding gift to the Seilers in 1955. He lived from 55 to 56. Uga 2, 66 to 71. Number 3 from 72 to 80. They won a national championship then. Uga 4, 81 to 89. 2 SEC champs. Uga 5 gave way to Uga 6. His dad, last year they actually had a passing of the bone ceremony. And then sadly Uga 5 expired only 2 years after he was retired. Here's Uga 6.
Like so many people don't know what to do with themselves when they retire. So used to worked all those years.
You're shameless. 2nd and 9. 27-17. .211, 210 now remaining in the third. Really modest numbers for Quincy Carter. Out for a series with a bruised left shoulder or a re-injured left shoulder. Here comes the corner blitz. Carter hit from behind as he lets it go. Intercepted by Marquand Manuel.
You know, Vern, this is an interception, but Javaris Johnson has to do a better job. Quincy Carter doesn't pay attention to the blitz because he knows he's supposed to have it picked up. Javaris Johnson is in position to block the blitz. Watch him. He's got to block this guy. He's in position to make the block, but he gets beat. He just gets olayed, and then the tackle at the end forces the bad throw by Quincy Carter. Gus Scott was on the blitz, and Marquand Manuel gets the pick. But Javaris Johnson made the right decision. He was there to block the blitzing safety, just didn't get the job done.
Gus Scott was the blitzer. And Marquand Manuel gets his first interception of the year 2000. Ball at the 50. Play fake, Palmer. Goes deep right side for Jacobs. And leads him about 3 yards. Too many.
Jesse Palmer's pass intended for number 6, Taylor Jacobs.
John Hoke, his predecessor Bob Stoops, with a huge victory today for Oklahoma. John Hoke tending to an injured player in his 2nd season now. Here's John Hoke.
You know, the defense has taken some criticism this year, a couple games over 500 yards, but they have been great at forcing turnovers. That's their 26th turnover they forced through 7 games, or 8 games rather.
There's the rush. Oh, what a play. Fumble. Still loose, and they are going to rule that the ball was down by contact at the 31.
And that didn't look good for Jesse Palmer at the end of that play. He went down very awkwardly and is now hobbling off the field. This was an ugly looking fall for Jesse Palmer. Will Witherspoon is the guy who's in pursuit, the linebacker. And at the end of the play, you see both feet caught under the body of Will Witherspoon. The ruling was he was down, and then the ball came out. Good call. The knees were on the ground, and then the ball flew out.
And Rex Grossman back in at quarterback after the loss of 18. It's 3rd and 28. Just do get the ball snapped. Grossman under pressure, goes deep. And Grossman is popped at the 20-yard line. They work on the right ankle of Jesse Palmer.
Again, pressure inside, forced the bad throw by Rex Grossman. Watch Marcus Stroud and Jonathan Sullivan this time team up. Watch these two guys get into the face of the quarterback. Here comes Stroud right up the middle. Could have got called for a penalty. He hit Grossman right across the face. That penalty was not called, but it certainly made for a bad throw.
Allen Ryan to punt. Final 40 seconds of quarter number 3. Pressure comes. It appeared to have been blocked. Allen Ryan is pleading for, yes, there is a flag down. So it was not blocked, and there was contact.
Well, the question is, was the ball tipped?
Nope. No flag.
The ball was tipped.
Yep.
The ball was tipped.
I can't believe Kendrell Bell did not suffocate this ball because they were in position to make the block. Here's Bell right in the middle, 37. He is there, but he just doesn't get the whole ball. He's got to go to the spot where the ball is going to come off, and he went right past the spot but was able to get a little piece of the football. My, oh my. He did get a piece, but he should have been able to smother that one. He was right down the gut.
I'm not sure he got a piece.
I can't believe he missed it.
He whiffed. Air ball on first down. Hand off to Jasper Sanks, number 28, out to the 42-yard line.
Nice run.
Jasper Sanks carries.
Jesse Palmer in agony.
Yeah, that was not a good fall. And
there's Brock Berlin, the true freshman quarterback out of Shreveport, who has played in the shadows this year because of the emergence of Rex Grossman. We've reached the end of 3. That's the end of the 3rd quarter with the score 27-17. We'll return to Allstate Stadium right after this message and a word from your local station. $84,404 present in Allstate Stadium today. That is the largest crowd to ever watch Georgia, Florida here in Jacksonville. 2nd down and 3 as we start the 4th. Musa Smith. Musa Smith gets by Todd Johnson momentarily, then is out of bounds at the 40-yard line with a first down. Musa Smith, the freshman, with the 2 touchdowns in the first half. How significant is this drive for Georgia?
I think it's really important. I think they've got to do something. That 3rd quarter was strange. Georgia outgained Florida by 20 yards, but they were outscored 10 points to nothing. So right now they trail by 10. They're not out of it by any stretch, but this is a very important series because they've got very good field position and they need to capitalize.
First down and 10, Georgia trailing by 10. And off to Smith. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. And let's check in with Jill Arrington.
Quarterback Jesse Palmer, he has re-sprained his right ankle that he hurt in the Mississippi State game. They put ice on it. He's walking on crutches. It doesn't look good.
No, it does not, Jill.
And I'll tell you what, he did some good things for Steve Spurrier's offense when he was in the game. I mean, he gave them a spark. And this was just, he just couldn't get his feet out from under him as he was pulled down from behind by Will Witherspoon.
2nd down and 10, Georgia. 3 tight ends. Here's the option pitch. Left side, Musa Smith, and what a job in the backfield by Benny Alexander, number 30.
When we talked to John Hogue about defending the option, he says the biggest thing is you just have to be sound in all your base defenses. You don't have to worry about a dive man. All you have to do is account for the quarterback and the pitch man. And that time, extremely well played by the Florida Gators. They had the quarterback covered and Benny Alexander all over the pitch man.
And bad news for Georgia. Musa Smith limped off after the tackle. He's being tended to on the bench. There is Musa Smith. Third down, Milliken's in, and the Bulldogs go from the shotgun. Four-man Florida rush. Carter comes left, has a man open. Reggie Brown to the 21. 21-yard gain.
Clutch reception this time by Reggie Brown. Pretty good protection for Quincy Carter. He stays in there. And Reggie Brown, who made 4 catches in the opener against Georgia Southern and then pretty much disappeared in this offense. No catches until he had a 40-yard touchdown catch last week against Kentucky. One of those highly prized freshmen out of Carrollton, Georgia.
On first down, they slip the ball to Jasper Sanks. Struggles to get to the 20-yard line. That'll be a gain of 2. Let's find out what's going on with Virginia Tech. Once again, back to New York. Here's Tim.
Vern, you knew it had to happen after a fumble off a snap to reserve quarterback Dave Meyer because Vick is out. John Turman, after the turnover, finds Antonio Bryant his 3rd touchdown catch of the day. Pittsburgh trying to spoil Virginia Tech's national title hopes, up by 7.
You know, Antonio Bryant had over 200 yards receiving against Virginia Tech last year in Pittsburgh. His combination, he and Latif Grimm, are an outstanding wide receiver pair.
Second down and 8. Option again. Quarterback creeper. And Carter out of bounds at the 13-yard line.
Well, this was kind of an option.
Yeah,
it was actually either a shovel pass or a keep by the quarterback. It's up to Quincy Carter. But he has a guy there that he can shovel it to if he wants to, or he can keep it. Got a nice block outside from Terrence Edwards, also his wide receiver.
Since the first quarter, Georgia with 265 yards. Double tight end set now on 3rd and 1.
You know, the play clock is down inside of 10 right now.
Now at 4, and the official says my time.
Oh, we got an injured player down. It looks like the center, Kurt McGill, is down on one knee. Now, one thing that Quincy Carter needs to do is come to the sideline, and whoever they're going to bring in the game at center, he needs to take some snaps from him right now. It looks like Brady Pate will move from guard to center.
There's Pate, who is normally the left guard.
And I really think it's important that they would get a practice snap while McGill was coming off the field. They did not do that. Let's pay attention to this first exchange between Brady Pate and Quincy Carter.
3rd and 1.
Especially on the short yardage situation.
3rd and 1. Good exchange. First down, Georgia at the 10. Jasper Sanks, number 28.
Jasper Sanks.
You know, we talked earlier about the game last year. It was 16-14 Florida heading into the 4th quarter, and Georgia had a nice drive as Kurt McGill comes back in the game, and at the 16-yard line, Jasper Sanks fumbled the football. Later, Quincy Carter would fumble on his own 2, and in a matter of moments it went from 16-14 to 30-14.
First and goal, Georgia. Jasper Sanks down to the 6-yard line. So a quick pickup of 4 as he goes between Brady Pate and Kurt McGill.
A couple good hard-nosed runs that time by Jasper Sanks. Good blocking inside. Kurt McGill, Brady Pate.
Jim Donnan. Second and goal. This the 10th play of the drive. And Jermaine Phillips is in, number 5. They hand it off to Sanks. plunges down near the 2-yard line.
Jasper 6 carries. Run to about the 2-yard line.
Well, this is some good short yardage running by Jasper Sanks, following the fullback Hayes.
3rd and goal.
John Stinchcomb, the right tackle, with a good block. And now 3rd down from the 1.5-yard line for the Bulldogs.
Ron Hayes is the blocking back. Sanks the deep back. 3 tight ends. 3rd and goal. Carter hands it off to Sanks, and he is stopped. 4th down.
Decision time for Jim Donnan. You need 2 scores. 10.5 minutes left. It looks like he's going to go for the touchdown here. Sanks trying to go underneath, and nothing there. Good penetration by the Gator defense.
And one of those small little injuries, Musa Smith, who has scored twice, is on the bench with an injury sustained when he was tackled for a loss of 3 earlier in this drive.
I know he's hurting a little bit, but I think you got to put the ball in the hands of Quincy Carter and give him an option to make a play.
They will split Sanks out wide to the right side. Now the motion from Phillips. Here's the option, run and pass. Carter pulls up, fires. Touchdown, Georgia. Jasper Sanks.
Nice play call by Jim Donnan. You start with a tight formation, then you shift them all out, and Jasper Sanks is going to find his way into the end zone. There he is. He's just standing there with his numbers to the quarterback, not drifting, and giving the quarterback a nice target. Good job getting the quarterback on the edge and giving him the option.
Billy Bennett has it deflected. And a flag is going to be thrown on Marcus Akendo Johnson, number 50.
What a big miss, Vern.
Oh.
We have seen a shank by Florida and a clank by Georgia now.
The try for extra point is no good. We have a dead ball, personal foul against Georgia. The penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
I saw the reaction, obviously. Billy Bennett, the freshman, had been perfect with extra points so far this season. Take nothing for granted. Doink. A 4-point margin.
The Home Depot College Football on CBS is sponsored by Chevy Trucks, Neutrogena T-Gel, First Union, and by Top Flight XL 2000.
I am reminded watching that Cecilia Seiler, owner of UGA the 5th or 6th, is quoted as saying that her real dog is not fond of the human dog. 6:53 to go in the ball game. 1st and 10, Georgia. Carter, Gary at the 31-yard line. Catch made, it'll be 2nd down. And once again, let's go back to New York and get another update from Tim Brando.
All right, Vern, Lee Suggs is really taking over this game. Spencer Tillman's mentioned it often this year. This is not just Michael Vick's team. Suggs proving it again, and Vick cheers on. They're tied at 34 in Blacksburg. Vern?
My, oh my, Tim, thank you. 27-23 here. 2nd down, 2. Hand off to Milliken. And he nudges his way over right guard, and that should be enough to move the chain. Tonight on CBS begins with Paul Sorvino and Ellen Burstyn in the new drama That's Light. Then Chuck Norris stars as Walker, Texas Ranger, followed by Craig T. Nelson in the new hit drama The District. That's all here tonight on CBS.
Vern, 3 guys that I think we got to keep our eye on here for Georgia. Playmakers. Randy McMichael, the tight end. Damian Gary and Terrence Edwards, the wide receivers. Those are the guys that need to make a play for Jim Donnan's team right now.
Play fake, come left. Here's Terrence Edwards. He's got a blocker in front. Tries to spin out of the Lito Sheppard tackle. But Sheppard makes the stop at the 38-yard line. And if you go back, and if this score stands, the play of the game made by Lito Sheppard. Late first half, an interception off Quincy Carter and a 61-yard return that set up what was then the tying touchdown.
And a nice tackle on that play right there. Florida has done a much better job tackling today than they had earlier in the year. Jesse Palmer out of this game. Quincy Carter starting to heat up. He was 4 of 12 in the first half. He's now 10 of 17 in the second half.
On second down, corner blitz coming. Carter in trouble. He dropped the ball. Florida has it.
When Quincy Carter started to leave the pocket, he's got to protect the football. Clint Mitchell and Alex Brown team up, and when he feels that, he's got to protect the football. He left it hanging out there with his left hand, and Alex Brown knocked it loose. Clint Mitchell made the first contact, and then Alex Brown knocked the football out.
That is the third Georgia turnover of the game. Carter's fumble recovered by Gus Scott. Here's Grossman play fake. Deep left side for Caldwell. Caught. Worse than goal, Florida.
Vern, you cannot throw the football any better than this. Rex Grossman puts it in a place that only his guy can make the play. Tim Wansley has been the best cornerback for Georgia all year, but he has no chance on this throw. Right on the sideline, either his man catches it or it's out of bounds. Grossman has shown me something today, hanging in there, keeping his poise under duress, overcoming interceptions, and still making big throws.
First and goal after the 27-yard pass and catch. Here's the toss. Gillespie cuts upfield. Touchdown, Florida.
You don't hear about the fullback much in the Florida offense, but Rod Frazier, number 40, with the key block on Tony Gilbert, and Gillespie into the end zone.
The extra point from Jeff Chandler. This time he knocks it home. And there is a flag down on the try for extra point. Gillespie, this time on the ground. Recall, he had the tying touchdown when he dived for the goal line just before the halftime break.
Penalties decline, tries good.
And how many times in this series has Florida forced a turnover and then taken advantage with touchdowns?
Robert Gillespie gets the touchdown after the 27-yard pass from Grossman to Caldwell. And Rex Grossman. And here's the kick taken by Thornton, a yard in. Comes left. Kevon Ratliff, number 1, the cornerback, the true freshman. And after the fumble by Quincy Carter, Grossman's first play.
And this, as much as anything, is why Florida has held a major upper hand in this series. They get a turnover, they go right for the jugular. They get the big play, and then they convert it with a touchdown. In this ball game, 3 Georgia turnovers have led to 14 of Florida's points. Since 1996, 15 Georgia turnovers, 52 Florida points. That's the difference when these two teams play.
Quincy Carter, as he will never forget, had a fumble in last year's game. Screen pass, tipped. Clint Mitchell, number 94. Now, we mentioned a couple times, if there is a key play in this game, it came on this crossing pattern as Carter went back deep. Late first half, and Lito Sheppard with the interception.
Well, not only did Georgia have momentum and the lead and driving for another possible score, they were up 17-9. The return not only killed that scoring drive, but put the Gators in scoring position of themselves, and they were able to tie it at halftime.
That was a 61-yard return. It led to a 17-7 score at the break. Milliken's in. Carter sets and throws right side. Tackle made by Cromartie immediately on Damian Gary. How's Alabama doing? Let's go back to New York and find out from Timmy B.
Vernon, Todd, I think it's safe to say Alabama's the most disappointing team in the country. Javier Borleghi, 37 yards for Central Florida. An alumni loss to Tennessee last week. An upset loss to Central Florida this week. Mike Dubose is in some trouble, new contract or not, in Tuscaloosa.
I got to correct myself, too. The win like that, I called them the Black Knights. They're the Golden Knights. Good win for Central Florida.
Huge. Carter still on his feet, down at the 28-yard line. The clock at 3:39 is running.
You know, one of the problems that Quincy Carter has had in his career, and particularly in the big ball games, is he has had a tendency to sometimes try to force the issue and to make too big of a play. He settled down in the second half. He started to make some nice plays, but then that fumble, when he really should have protected the football and taken the loss, has put his team in a real hole right now.
With just over 3 remaining, it's 4th and 1. Timeout. Play clock, as you saw, was down to 3. Georgia burns one of its 3. They trail by 11.
What kind of a company are we? We're a company of 70,000 people. People not all that different than you. We have families, children. We have your same hopes and fears, your same dreams and expectations. We've come from little towns and big cities, from farms and playgrounds and dusty ball fields, from schools throughout the country, some famous, some small with unknown names. The people of this company are not that much different than you. We're a community, one with a shared conviction that it's our job to make others' lives better and easier and more prosperous and secure. And knowing that if we can just do that, our lives will be better too. Who are we? We're First Union, and that's the kind of company we are.
The sleek 200 horsepower Chevy Monte Carlo SS. Green. The side you show the world is up to you. Ever wondered where's a cop when you need one?
I'm instituting a new shift.
You do this and morale will collapse.
What do you think, the crooks are home watching their kids?
All new The District, CBS tonight.
Gators trying to go 5-1 in SEC East play. Jim Donnan's team also trying to do that. 4th down and 1. Left side. Brent Milliken picks up the first down for the Bulldogs.
John Hoke and the Gator defense, they don't care about giving up that conversion right now because the clock still goes. It's down as they set the chains, going under 3 minutes. And Georgia still needs to make up 11 points. So Florida content to give up short gains and keep the clock going.
Carter goes right. Catch made by Terrence Edwards. And time now for our CBS Sportsline stat of the game. Florida with 14 points off for 3 Georgia turnovers, and Georgia with 17 points off 3 interceptions and a fumble recovery. For complete college football coverage, go to cbs.sportsline.com. Dropped. Reginald Brown.
Carter's pass intended for Reggie Brown. Incomplete.
3rd and 7. And the biggest turnover of the lot, this one.
Yeah, good pressure by Clint Mitchell and Alex Brown, and the ball just hanging out there with one hand by Quincy Carter. And again, last year on his own 2-yard line, he was sacked by Alex Brown and fumbled the football. And Doug Johnson scored on a quarterback sneak soon after that, and the game finished up 30-14.
Comes the pass to Gary, tries to cut inside, now spins. Pretty decent job defensively, so the tackle made at the 39-yard line. Gus Scott, number 37. Alex Brown had those 2 great games last year, became an All-American. Even his dad said, well, Alex, you could have done more. And he had really a so-so season and came alive last game against Auburn.
Yeah, I think the last couple weeks he's played better. Stopped talking to the media. Maybe that was it.
Here's McMichael, the big tight end. And he's out to the 40-yard line after a gain of 20. Randy McMichael makes the catch. Well, Jim Donnan is the coach at UGA. 1-4 against Tennessee. Finally won that one this year. 1-3 against Florida, the one win in '97. They go down to Auburn in a couple of weeks, and he's 2-2 against Georgia Tech.
Well, his team was in position to win this game today. I mean, they had a good plan and made enough plays to be right in the position to win the game, but Florida just made more.
Out to Reginald Brown on the right side. Brown trying to get out of bounds. He does. Yep. Stop the clock.
Has been played to Reggie Brown. Knocked out of bounds.
1:35 to go. Thaddeus Bullard made the tackle. What remains for Florida, the Gators will go 7-1 if they win this one. At Vanderbilt next week in Nashville, then at home against South Carolina, and then the finale, they go to Tallahassee to take on Florida State. Alex Brown back on the field on 2nd down and 3. Pump, lets it go deep, caught at the 11-yard line. Damian Gary.
Clock stops while they reset the chains. Georgia's got to be thinking right now, touchdown, 2-point conversion, onside kick. Nice job by Quincy Carter stepping up in the pocket, finding a throwing lane, and then ripping it in there to Damian Gary.
Gain of 23, 1:25 to go. The clock has started again. Pump once, fires it low and behind the intended receiver Brown at the 10-yard line.
Good thing it was incomplete. That would have just eaten up time. Would have forced the use of a timeout. At this point from right here, throw to the end zone.
On the sideline, Steve Spurrier has won 9 of 10.
You know, I saw the old ball coach in the tunnel before the game when he was getting ready to come out with his team, and he's hopping up and down. I mean, he gets fired up. I'm sure the way he used to feel when he played.
Tipped in the air, intercepted. Bam Hardman got it. Alex Brown was there to tangle things up.
Vern, this was a strange play because Damian Gary looked like he wasn't sure whether he should catch it or knock it down. And watch the play develop. Alex Brown is going to get a hand on the ball. He's going to deflect the ball. Now watch Damian Gary. He doesn't know whether to catch it or knock it down. And he kind of goes at it with one hand, and Bam Hardman goes and steals the football. It's up in the air, and Hardman takes it away from Damian Gary. And then yet another turnover for John Hoke's defense.
Rex Grossman takes a knee. Georgia can stop the clock twice if they so choose. Coming up tonight, we'll begin with That's Life. Paul Sorvina and Ellen Burstyn. And Chuck Norris stars in Walker, Texas Ranger. followed by Craig T. Nelson and the new hit drama The District. That's the lineup tonight on CBS.
Vern, one thing that we have to keep in mind too that has not been talked about yet today is that Florida stands a good chance to move up in the BCS with a win here. They were number 6. Clemson lost today to Georgia Tech. Nebraska lost to Oklahoma. Virginia Tech is tied in the 4th quarter right now. So Florida stands a chance to not only move up in the SEC, but in the BCS.
And for an update on the Clemson-Georgia Tech game, let's go back to Tim Brando.
All right, Vern, Todd, you mentioned it, and here's how they clinched it. George Godsey to Kerry Watkins, 31-28, and you're absolutely right. A great day for the Peachtree City.
Yes, indeed. I would imagine the clickers were working the remote controls in Atlanta today. 34-23 here. I'm thinking back to a conversation we had, what was it, week 3? We were in Gainesville for Kentucky, Florida. And there was a thought expressed then that this might be the season where a team could really sneak in and steal a national championship.
Well, and the unbeatens continue to fall. Right now, we're only assured of 2 at the end of today's action. Oklahoma stays unbeaten. TCU stays unbeaten, beating Rice today. Virginia Tech, the only other unbeaten. That game still in the balance right now with Pittsburgh.
1:05 to go, and another timeout called. Well, it was 20 years ago in this series, and what was then called the Gator Bowl, that Georgia defeated Florida. Let's listen to the call of Larry Munson. It became an immortal call.
Back 3rd down on the 8. In trouble. Got a block behind him. Then a throw and a run. Complete to the 25. To the 30. Lindsey Scott 35-40. Lindsey Scott 45-50. 45-40. Run Lindsey. 25-20. 50. 10. 5. Lindsey Scott. Lindsey Scott. Lindsey Scott.
That play is known to all who follow Georgia football. Larry Munson, the play-by-play man since 1966, has run Lindsey run. And a very nice article today in the Orlando Sentinel from Mike Bianchi on Lindsey Scott, who has overcome some personal hardships and kind of righted his life.
Ran into Buck Ballou, the quarterback who threw that pass. Saw him down here this weekend. Stayed at our hotel and involved with the pregame and halftime show for Georgia.
Leon Hires, number 79, got a little anxious. Jesse Palmer, injured right ankle. So unable to really enjoy right now his major contribution to this victory.
Face mask.
Yep. Jesse Palmer, 5th-year senior, had such a checkerboard career at Florida and had such high hopes this year. Had the big win at Tennessee.
Yeah. And those numbers didn't look like much, but when Florida needed a spark, Jesse Palmer gave it to him. Rex Grossman was struggling, had thrown 3 interceptions, took him out, got a spark from Palmer, and when Grossman came back in the ballgame, looked like a much different quarterback for Steve Spurrier.
After the penalty, 1st down and 10 with 54 seconds to go. And Georgia out of timeouts. Gators go to 5-1 in the SEC East. Georgia falls to 4-2. 3 second-half turnovers.
And Florida continues their trend of forcing turnovers. That has been the story of their season defensively, and that guy right there, Lito Sheppard, the biggest play of the game for Steve Spurrier.
.23 the final. Florida wins it. They go to 7-1. Today's player of the game presented by Salomon Smith Barney. We're going to give it to Lito Sheppard, the sophomore who comes back home. Played for Raines High School in Jacksonville. 4 tackles, a huge interception with a marvelous run. 61 yards. That set up the tying touchdown just before the halftime. And let's go down to Jill Arrington, who is with Steve Spurrier.
Coach Spurrier, congratulations on a big win here. You must be proud of your boys for coming out here and really persevering and showing your stuff in the second half.
Well, Jill, you need to win some games like this when you play poorly. You know, 4 turnovers the first half, but it was a game of momentum, and they had it right there in the second quarter. And Lito Sheppard's interception got us down there and put us in position to tie at half. Was a huge play, and then our defense held on. It was a good win for us.
Thanks, Coach. Congratulations.
Thanks, Jill.
All right, thank you, Jill. The Gators go to 7-1, 5-1 in the SEC East. They go to Vanderbilt next. They've got South Carolina at home on the 11th. 34-23, the final. For Jill Arrington and Todd Blackledge, I'm Vern Lundquist saying so long from Alltel Stadium in Jacksonville. Again, the final, Gators over the Dogs, 34-23.